Craig starred in a documentary this evening, Rich Kids Go Homeless, and you met this rich chap from the countryside who was roughing it on the streets for a few days. How long was he on the streets, and how did you get on with him?
He'd done a 3-day experience, and I met him on his last day, and basically I showed him a different side, because the streets, like, maybe most of your viewers, all your viewers haven't met me, like, they've probably don't know my background, but I showed them about the streets, and yeah, like, I opened up his eyes and changed his view on homeless people, because when I met him at first, his attitude was homeless people are lazy, they don't care, they just want to sit in the streets and get out their face on drugs, and that's it. And I showed them a different perspective on that, and yeah, it was just by chance. I was walking through London and it came across my path, and yeah, I ended up on television, and my story's been showed.
You can catch that on 5 on demand. It's Rich Kids Go Homeless. Having been in a TV programme, how much do they edit out? How much do they manipulate what you say? Do you feel that how you were portrayed on the screen was true to what happened during the filming of that documentary?
100%. I was so nervous before I only found out. I knew the television. I knew the documentary had been filmed. I knew it was getting broadcast around about this time, but I wasn't informed of the date. I found out last night off my fiance that it was going to be on tonight. I never slept. I was really apprehensive all days. I'm thinking, oh, what are they going to do? They're going to twist my words. But I can honestly say, and it's Zeppelin Productions, a big shout out to Channel 5. Like, they done amazing. Like, I'm so happy with the footage. Like, they showed it how it was, man. It was real. Like, it was real. Like, what I said, they showed. It was really good.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. And at the end, they mentioned donating to certain charities. You said that you ended up disagreeing with the charity that they had donated the money to.
Yeah, so yeah, they donated £1,500 to a hostel, St Mungo's, that I lived in, and I've had experiences with other hostels, but St Mungo's are just like myself. I don't know if your viewers have heard of St Mungo's, but there's just a dirty cooperation in my eyes, and I wasn't happy that they donated that money. But at the end of the day, I've been trying a long time. I've been protesting a long time. I've been shouting my voice a long time. I've done a lot of time suffering behind metal doors for my protesting, and finally I've managed to get my story out there, and I just hope it can open up further avenues, because my dream has always been to write a book about my life story, and tonight shows a start on it, hopefully.
I think it'd be a great story to tell. The name St Mungo's rings a bell to me because Kieran O'Reilly, the great Australian campaigner for Julian Assange, who was outside the Ecuadorian embassy in solidarity in a 24-hour vigil, he was approached by St Mungo's, and he was telling me that they thought he was homeless. He said, "I'm not homeless, I'm actually a protester." And then in his conversation with St Mungo's, he realised that the person with the St Mungo's worker was an undercover police officer, and they were trying to coax people into exposing themselves as illegal immigrant and then deporting them out of the country. There seemed to be a very ulterior motive to what the St Mungo's charity were doing. Obviously, they've got the right to reply if someone from St Mungo's wants to get in touch with me and tell me what's really going on. You're welcome. But I did hear that negative side of it.
Yeah. My fiance is actually like, but this is how I met my fiance. She was a member of staff, and St Mungo's. Like, I'm not going to go into too much detail.
No problem.
Obviously, this is live on air, but I've got my partner worked for the organisation for a long time, so don't think I don't know a lot of juicy information on St Mungo's. You know what I mean? Like, but as I said, I need to watch what I do with that information.
No problem. What
I know what they're all about. You know what I mean?
What are the other charities that you would rather help? or that you feel are genuinely trying to
There's a
help
few.
homeless people?
Scots Care, there's a charity called Scots Care in London that helps Scottish people that have found themselves homeless in London, help them try to get back on their feet. I'd have loved to have helped Shelter, because I think Shelter's a good organisation, they give good advice. I'd have loved to have helped Turning Point. It's a drug rehabilitation service. They done a lot of good for me. And there's a foundation which is now sadly closed, called the Wealthy Foundation. You can Google it. It was they used to counsel me. It was my counsellor when I was young up in Scotland, and they were amazing. I managed to actually open up to these people, and I would have loved to have gave them some money. But when it comes to other charities like SHP, St Mungo's, Crisis, The Passage, these are all kid on money making good guys, or bad guys, if you want to put it like that.
Do you feel that some charities are exploiting the homelessness
Yeah, 100%,
issue?
100%. I used to live in London on the streets. I'm on the streets trying to make myself money for food, and I've got some idiot. I'm not even going to use the term that I say from it, because I used to call them, because it's pretty derogatory. Not in the sense where but I just wouldn't lower myself to say that anymore. But St Mungo's are standing on the streets, 6 or 7 of them, with their charity tins, and they're telling people, listen, they're telling fucking civilians on the streets, if you really want to help a homeless person, don't go and give them the money, give us the money. Basically stopping the fucking homeless person getting money for food to eat. And they want to collect the money in their tins, so like, you couldn't get any help up in the streets because you get these homeless charities out fucking taking all the money.
Rather like the pharmaceutical industry, if there were no people suffering illnesses, then that industry wouldn't make much money. If there were no homeless people, then I guess these charities would be out of business, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and these charities that say were non-profit charities, they're lying, because if they were non-profit charities, why are you at the street collecting money? And for one, where's all this money going? Because I tell you what, I've been through the system enough to know how much money is in the system. You know what I mean? Where's this money going? Because it's definitely not getting spent on hospitals, and it's definitely not getting spent on getting people off the streets. Like, in my eyes, I'm still myself struggling with accommodation. Like, yeah, I'm off the streets, but I'm still not fully accommodated where I can say it as my own place. But like, I genuinely think, because these systems are all linked, Giuliano. Like, you've got your councils who will be linked with the police will be linked with probation services, who will then be in turn linked with the people's drug services, who will then be in turn linked with the doctors. Like, all these people share information. Don't think these don't know these certain clients they're leaving on the street, and they've looked at their history. And maybe somebody like myself, but I genuinely think they're just sitting back waiting for me to mess up and go back to prison, because it's easier for me to go to prison than them accommodate me. It's easier for them, know what I mean? So yeah, I think the system's there to set people up to fail.
And what about people that say to you, wouldn't it be easier for you to be in prison when you've got 4 walls, 3 square meals a day, and a bed?
What?
People do say that.
Easy. Prison easy? Fucking listen, anybody that says prison's easy is talking rubbish. Anybody that says prison's easy needs Section 3 of the Mental Health Act. Prison is not easy, man.
I think
prison is
there is an illusion held by people that have never been probably near a prison, that think, oh, they've got it easy, why are we paying for them to live that lifestyle?
Yeah, well, we maybe have a television in ourselves and stuff, but you're locked in that cell for 24 hours a day. I tell you what, I've spent time in English prisons where I've been opened up to go for my dinner. I've been locked in myself from 9 in the morning. I got opened up to go for something to eat at 1, and there's that many prisoners going for food. I've got to the end of the queue, there's been nothing there to eat. I've said to the prison officer, where's my lunch? Oh, you just need to wait till your evening meal. And I'm like, so I need to starve all day? Like, no, prison's not easy, man. it's mental torture for the prisoner itself. When that door's shut, you don't realise what goes through a prisoner's head. You're constantly thinking about the outside world. When you're constantly looking over that wall thinking, wonder what this person's doing, wonder what that person's doing. You can be sitting watching the telly and an advert will come on the telly to remind you of something outside. No, prison's hard, man. Prison broke me as a person. Like, I'm a strong character, but I tell you what, I never want to go back to prison again because it's not fucking easy.
In the chat, BA is saying prison equals rehabilitation. How do we rehabilitate people that have been incarcerated? How do we make sure that they don't end up back inside?
Well, for one, stop criminalising mental health patients and putting them in prison. Because for one, as a mental health patient sufferer myself, prison's not the environment to send somebody like that. If you want to help somebody, it's in that sense in a hospital. Two, there's not enough staff in the prison system to rehabilitate prisoners, and you can't rehabilitate prisoners when you've got corrupt officers in the place bringing in drugs and weapons and stuff like that. So my idea, like, I think the country should go, like, I think it's Norway. I'm not sure, I think it's Norway. There's this island and it's used as a prison, and the people who are sent there, there's no walls. It's basically a village. They've got their own jobs, their own house, their own things like that. Teach people life skills, man. Teach people how to budget. Teach people how to communicate with people. I mean, teach people how to fill in forms. Teach people how to go about phoning the right people when they're in certain situations. Yeah, like, help people. There needs to be more services in the community. Prison does not work, man.
In the chat,
prison doesn't work.
DJ Russell saying I went in for 3 months and left with qualifications. Did you have a chance for education inside prison?
Well, I don't know what prison he was in. Yeah, I've been in certain prisons where I've had the chance for education, but he knows himself. The qualifications you're getting in prison, like, they're not really going to get you a job on the outside unless the guy's been working in, I don't know, some warehouse place, or he's learnt a trade and he's done bricklaying or something. And it's hard. You're into a prison with 1,200 prisoners, yeah, and there's maybe another 900 prisoners chasing the same job you're chasing, or chasing the same education slot you're chasing. There's only so many slots. So yeah, I've had the opportunity. I've took up education in prison. I've worked in prison, but I can get qualifications on the outside. I don't need help with my education. I need help with why I relapse my addictions, what is causing these triggers, counselling, support. On the outside, when I leave prison, not going in and doing my sentence and getting kicked out the door to homelessness and don't know where to go. So, no, I think he's trying to make out that I went to prison, I was a lazy idiot.
Well, you're saying it wasn't the best, but it was something. In the chat,
yeah, you can gain stuff. You can gain stuff if you can gain stuff out of it. If you play the game and use the system to your advantage, then prison can work in your favour. But it affects people different ways. People do their time different. You know what I mean? For me, prison's hard.
How easy is it to get hold of drugs in prison?
In prison? Oh, fucking easy. Actually, man. Easy. Like, I know too many. Like, prison's a small community. Like, even myself coming from Scottish prisons, I've met people in English prisons that I've been in prison with in Scotland. It's a small world, as they say, and the system's rife with drugs, and it's so open as well. It's easy. Like, it's easy. If you've got money, you can get anything you want in prison, man. I can get vodka. I can get hash. Whatever. I can get a mobile phone. If I can get a tablet. Whatever I want, man. If I've got money, I'll get what I want in prison. It's easy.
And who's bringing that in? Who's providing that?
Well, you can come in on a drone. It can be a prison officer. You can get it at a visit. You can come in off the streets and have it plugged and already have it on you.
There must be prison officers involved if it's coming in
100%,
from the outside, 100%. I imagine.
There's 100%. There's prison officers. That's why, like, there is prison officers bringing in things. I've been in prison and seen knives in prison, like actual proper lockback knives that you can only buy in the community, and like the only way that's get in is as a prison officer. I've seen people sitting in their cells with Samsung Galaxy S8 Edge phones, and I've seen people sitting with Apple iPads. The only way that's getting in is a prison officer.
Wow. HK Stocks is saying all the prisons in Scotland are run by Serco, half of England's too. Guess who's getting all the next NHS contracts being opened up?
They've already got half of them. The cleaning contracts are all Serco.
Wow.
And G4S. G4S as well. Another one.
And these are private companies profiting from incarcerating people.
Yeah. The profit of the people suffering.
It's crazy.
Misery.
Yeah. G4S is another name that rings alarm bells for me.
Scandal comes up straight away, doesn't it? You've got the Medway scandal and stuff like that. G4S, like they're a dirty firm as well. Like,
what was the Medway scandal? Just elaborate on that for a little.
I think if I'm correct, that I'm sure Medway was the place. It was a children's. They call it a training centre up in Scotland. They would call it a secure unit. It's basically a locked institution for children under the age of 16. They've committed offences or are under social services orders where they've been deemed to be putting themselves at risk. So they have to be in a secure environment. And you've got G4S running this place. And I'm actually getting fucking angry just thinking about it, because I watched the documentary about it and it made me so angry, man. So you've got these big burly prison officers. They're prison officers. Like, that's it. These G4S men have went through the same training as prison officers to work. They know CNR. CNR is control and restraint. They're trained in these techniques, which is all arm locks, like it's martial arts moves, wrist locks and stuff like that. And they were fucking beating the hell out of these kids. So, like, a guy went in as an undercover reporter. He wore a secret camera. He's got himself a job. Hardly, there was no checks done on the guy. 2 days training, he's flung into the deep end. And he's filming footage of 40-year-old men, grown men, big, burly guys that have been doing the gym and stuff, big men. And being aggressive and violent towards teenagers, physically putting them in restraints and hurting them, and it was a big scandal. They abused them, and there was a lot of them gets fired and went to prison for it. So this is G4S. I mean, these are the people that are shipping your prisoners about the country. They're running care homes, they're running prisons. Like,
in the chat, Craig BA is saying this guy needs to write a book. That might be happening already. And Pat Wright is saying, evening all, just heard the last few minutes. This caller is spot on. Yeah, we're on the line to Craig, star of a recent TV documentary, who's just sharing his experiences of the prison system and reflecting on how private companies are profiteering from people being in prison. And what is the profit in the end, Craig? Are there prisoners? But there must be prisoners working and producing things. Are they doing factory work?
Obviously, it's fucking slave labour. I was in that prison up in Kilmarnock. HMP Kilmarnock is run by Serco. There's only 3 private prisons in Scotland. HMP Kilmarnock, HMP Addiewell, and HMP Grampian.
It's ironic that Her Majesty's prison would be private and not state-run.
It's Scottish. It's Scottish Prison Service, but it's still Her Majesty's prison. But Serco own the prison, the contract to run the prison.
Okay.
So, like, I was in HMP Kilmarnock, and I got a job, and it was working in a. They had this de-assembling Freeview boxes and stripping copper wire, like basically stripping the plastic off it and recycling all this copper and recycling all this. And listen, I was making £5 a week. I was making £5 a week, and I was working from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I was making £5 a week. I was getting paid less than £1 a day, near enough. It's slave labour.
This is the legal loophole that allows human beings to be
Yeah.
paid that minimal amount.
Yeah.
And Jamal Samiev in the chat saying when we were in prison, we smuggled Lahmacun into the cell. Yeah, that's another story for another night.
What?
That's Lahmacun is like a ordinary sized Turkish pizza. It's a rare delicacy.
I know somebody that got a McDonald's and a drone in Wandsworth got 2 double cheeseburgers flew to their cell window on a drone.
Wow.
Among other stuff in the parcel as well, but amongst the parcel was some cheeseburgers from McDonald's.
Wow. Drone technology. The game is changing for all of us, for prisoners. That's incredible. Look, Craig, you've been an absolute star of the show tonight. You've really helped me out, and we will revisit this. People in the chat are already saying this guy knows what he's talking about. Look, we've got 4 minutes. What are the other subjects that you would like to speak to me about, and just so we can plan it, because I know you've got so many ideas.
I'd like to talk more about trying to cause a revolution, get people together. I don't know anything you want to talk about, but the most things I'm really looking at COVID just now, and I'm looking to see what steps we're going to make moving on when they're after lockdown. But I'm still big on exposing police and stuff like that, and exposing corruption. I'm still big on that. I'm still studying that. So corruption. Let's do one on corruption if you like. I don't know, whatever you want, whatever topic.
I'm ready when you are, my friend. Craig, thank you so much for getting in touch. BA is saying laptops are in prison. Don't ask how they smuggle them in. Well, there must be someone in on it.
There's a lot of things in prison that I don't know who's got that shouldn't be in prison. You know what I mean? There's a lot of prison officers shouldn't be there. They should be in the cells themselves. To be honest with you, they should be locked up.
Very true, and there's a lot of prisoners that shouldn't be in there as well. Julian Assange springs to mind.
100%. I was literally, I was looking I was telling you, I got into a bit of trouble at a protest a couple of years ago. I might be expecting some criminal. I might end up back in prison myself. And if I do, I hope they send me to Belmarsh, because I really want to meet Julian Assange, because it was so good to sit with that guy. He's getting a hard time in the jail now, man. The prison officers are taking the piss out of the guy, man. He's not getting access to writing material. He's not getting access to the library. He can't build his case. It's a shame what they're doing to the guy. It makes me angry, man. It makes me angry. It's wrong what they've done to Julian Assange.
Well, look, Craig, God forbid, and I hope you remain a free man, but imagine if we smuggle you a microphone and we get an exclusive from Julian Assange.
Yeah, well, let's not go any further on that subject, because it could be easily done. Enough said on that matter.
Say no more.
Don't give me any ideas. What I mean?
You don't need any more ideas, Craig. But look, mate, thank you so much for doing this. I'm going to chop this down into 2 videos and share them both. Really appreciate you getting in touch, mate.
No problem,
well done.
Thanks. And I hope to speak again soon.
For sure. Thank you very much.
No problem, Joel. Take care, brother. Thank you.